Okay, we're here,
We are here.
and I'm Teresa, and we've got Ruble, and we're going to talk about today the magic of self-love and how that can impact your business and really help build your business. And I'm going to actually ask Ruble some questions about this, and we're going to explore how you can access this self-love to help grow your business. You ready, Ruble?
Yeah, absolutely, Teresa. It's fun to be with you.
Okay, so we're feeling some self-love right now.
There we go. There
Okay.
we go. Yeah.
All right. So tell me, first of all, how you define self-love. What is that?
Self-love, it's good. I need to come up with a definition on the fly here, which is being able to love and appreciate yourself the way you are and using it as a catalyst to move to the next level. So what does that mean? It means that you are not just light. You are not just good things and good behaviors and good characters, everything. You are light and darkness mixed at the same time, right? So being able to love you the way you are and not giving up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love myself and I screw up and it's okay. That's not the self-love. The self-love is being able to love yourself unconditionally, no matter what happens, good or bad, and still striving to drive towards your light. That is my definition of self-love.
And how would someone know where they're on? If there was a scale, let's say from 1 to 10, and 1 was no self-love, and 10 was like complete self-love, how would someone know where they are on that scale?
Yeah. So before I answer the question, I am feeling a little bit of self-love here. I feel like my camera could be like turned a little bit to make me feel a little bit better. Okay, so this is good. So so the question is, how do you know whether you love yourself, from in a scale? Okay, beautiful. Okay, so the way you find out is based on a different scale. Let's call it a judgment scale. Okay, so what is a judgment scale? The judgment scale is when you're thinking by yourself, how much are you judging yourself? Like when you do something, when you screw up, let's say, for example, in life, in business, in whatever you're doing, and when you screwed up big time, and how are you judging yourself? Like, are you judging yourself from 1 to 10? Like, are you a professional Supreme Court justice about yourself? Or are you a local judge who's like, judging for a county, for a small district in your country, right? So if you're a professional judge about your screw up and you keep on judging yourself for a long time after you fail, then that means that it's time for you to invite yourself to love yourself more. So being able to screw up and still see, okay, what did I learn from this screw up, and go from there. And being able to let you go for your mistake. When you make a mistake, rather than holding yourself hostage, how could you let yourself go?
So how would someone who might be very critical of themselves really learn to not be at the level of judgment of themselves? Is there a way that they can work on to start not judging themselves so strongly?
Yeah, there are many ways to do that, but I want to start with a simple thing. The simple practice is, first of all, resign this job as a Supreme Court justice. I don't want to be in this position anymore, because it's very hard. First of all, we didn't come to this planet saying, hey, I want to be a Supreme Court justice judging myself, right? We didn't come to this planet that way. We came to this planet like appreciating everything and like being curious, right? So one step would be become curious, like a kid, right? I wonder, what did I do here? Right? And when other people are doing stuff, and they screw up, try to intentionally, in your mind, justify them. Like, okay, say, oh, I understand. You made a mistake. It's okay. And when you are able to not judge other people, you are giving yourself permission to not judge yourself. Most of the judgment if you're a professional judge, like the way I was judging me on every step and everything that I was doing, basically. So if you're a professional judge, then basically what you're doing is, Teresa, and anybody listening, is that you're judging you 90% of the time. And 10% of the time you're judging other people. And everybody is saying, oh, you are so judgmental. Yes, but you are 10 times more judgmental than that to yourself. And because of that, you don't have freedom. So the first step is, instead of judging, get curious, right? Get curious. I said, oh, I wonder why this turned out this way. And when you get curious, it changes dramatically. And if you're able to get curious about other people, like screwing up, making mistakes, because we are humans, we are bound to make mistakes. And when we do, we will be able to let it go when we are able to look at other person and say, oh, it's okay. I can understand that, so curiosity.
Yeah. I read something once that was really powerful, and this is something you might want to write down, anyone that's out there listening, but perfection, because judgment is usually, we want to live up to a certain standard. And so we look for this perfection sometimes, and perfection actually is the lowest standard to live by. And what that means is that perfection is the lowest standard to live by because there is no room to grow. And so in order to we're always growing. And if perfection is your standard, you don't allow yourself to grow in perfection because you keep hitting that wall. So I thought that was pretty powerful when I heard that.
It is a way, perfection is a way that humans use to stay judgmental. It's a professional way to stay judgmental. What does that mean? Like when Da Vinci is doing a major painting, or Da Vinci is like trying to sculpt like David, right? And Michelangelo did, or Da Vinci doing their artwork. They're like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I don't know. It needs to be perfect. It doesn't look perfect yet, right? It's not enough. And then they keep on doing it for the strive for perfection. Yeah. Then they lost the game. Their genius is not going to work anymore. If you want a genius to go into the world and establish in the world, perfection is a very low standard. Perfection is a tool that we use to gauge our self-image. We are like, okay, if I do it perfect, then I could feel good about myself. So that is a lack of self-love. So in that case, should I just give up everything? And they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this. I don't want a high quality. I just go for a very low standard. No, what you go for is extraordinary. You need to look for, when somebody look at what you do at your work, at your business, or everything that you do, when somebody look at it and say, oh, that was remarkable, that was extraordinary, somebody feel like remarking about it, then it is extraordinary. That's it. That's the highest standard, at least for me.
Wow. So let's talk about business and self-love now. And how does self-love and business, how do they tie in and work together?
Yeah. So this is an important concept that most business people don't even recognize. Most people who are consultants, coaches, manufacturing businesses, and many other businesses all over the world. And we help businesses in 14 different countries, helping them to grow the next level. And as we help these many people, we are recognizing a fascinating pattern that is the following. The darkness of the CEO, the strength of the CEO, and the weakness of the CEO is basically controlling the scene of a company. So if you're a business owner, and if you are in a place of, let's say, judgment to yourself, naturally, what happens? You start judging your team members. Mm-hmm. You start judging your partners. You start judging your vendors. You start judging everybody around you. And what happens is they start judging each other. Now you're building a judgment culture in the organization. So same thing with if you feel like on the darker side, you feel like I'm not trustworthy. And if you feel in your gut that I'm not trustworthy, nobody can trust me. what happens is you bring in that darkness that you have into the organization. And because you haven't settled that part of you, the judgment part of you, what happens is that's going to show up in each and everything in your business. And you wonder, like, what happened? This is an extension of your identity. Your business is an extension of your identity. And whatever you have here in your real identity, it's going to show up in the extension identity called business.
So how would someone know if that is actually having an impact on their business?
So I could tell you right now, it is having an impact regardless of where you are, right? So no matter who you are, whether you're Steve Jobs, you were Steve Jobs, you're listening from somewhere in a different way. But regardless of who you are, the way you think, where you perceive yourself as a CEO or as a professional or as a mom or as a dad, it is affecting whatever business that you're doing. So how do you find out how it has effect on it? You need to start looking at what happened. Like, for example, if there is a thing, if you look at yourself and you feel like, you know what, I feel like there are some parts of you that you don't recognize and appreciate. Mm-hmm. You could go back to your business and you would see those parts in your company. It's fascinating because it's our psychology that is building the business. Teresa, you already know, and I have a different frame that business is 60% psychology, 20% strategy, and 20% action. Yeah. Right? So bulk of your business is psychology. And how is that? How is psychology like 60% of your business? The reason is because your psychology is going to carve like what is going to go on your business.
Yeah, that's great. Just a suggestion also, in order to actually just really assess where you are within your business, I think what you could also do is do a bit of an analysis or an assessment of your business. Let's just say a judgment assessment. So you look at each department you have within your business and how they're functioning. Where are they at on the scale from 1 to 10? And check in to see if, well, what do you believe about that particular company? I want to just share with you a story, and I don't have no reference to this story, but there was a teacher. Actually, let me step back. There was a class that was designated as learning disability. Uh-huh. So they were designated as learning disability. And there was a class, a gifted class. Mm-hmm. And the gifted class, the teacher from the gifted class was given the students that were diagnosed with learning disabilities. But she wasn't told they were had any learning disabilities. She was just assumed that this was students that were coming in that were gifted students. And so she taught them as if they were gifted students, and they all excelled. The takeaway from that I got was that teacher didn't see them as having any kind of learning disability. She only saw them as gifted students coming in. So therefore, her belief in them was that they were gifted. And so as a result, it impacted their ability to actually perform at a higher level, which is really powerful. So it's also, if we think our team is an average team, we'll check in to see, perhaps, what if you change how you see that team, and you actually saw them, you raise them up in your belief about them. Perhaps that would actually make a shift in how they show up too.
Yeah, it's a fascinating example, Teresa. So what happened was, I think it is called, it's a study done on children. I think it's a real story. I mean, I could probably come up with the reference and put that in the chat. I think it's like, there's a study. It's a study done on like US too. So yes, so look at what Teresa said. That's a really important thing. By the way, if you don't know much about Teresa, she's a famous business strategist, and she's helping businesses in different countries with us as a consultant, helping businesses all over the world to scale to the next level. And she's professionally trained by world's biggest organization in coaching to help businesses and teams grow and scale to the next level, right? So I just wanted to let you know that. Thank you for everything that you do for businesses all over the world, Teresa.
Thank you for that.
So that example shows you, if you have a perception from a judgment standpoint, you feel like your team sucks, they're horrible, they don't know what they're doing, and they are not able to perform. And if that's what you believe is, that's how it's going to manifest. Where does that come from? It comes from your own self-love or self-loath or something in between, right? So
yeah, powerful. Yeah, it's making a lot of sense that the perception of yourself and how you see yourself can really have an impact on how judgmental you are on others, and then that's an impact on many things in your business, productivity, relationships, and that plays then into your clients. If your people are not feeling that connection and so forth, then that's going to show up with your customers, clients, patients, whoever it is that you serve.
Yeah. And at some point, just understand that if you feel like, don't wait around for you feel like total self-love to start or scale your business. It's probably not going to happen, right? So you need to figure out a way to work around that in the beginning, and what you will reach a point where you will be successful. Like, for example, Steve Jobs was like as screwed up as any human being could in terms of his mindset, and he wanted to build something because of, this is not a person who has a lot of stability in emotions. He was like confused, angry, and so many other things. But he started there, and then his evolution, like when he went to Apple and he got fired from Apple, there was some time he spent in India trying to figure out himself and trying to build that connection with himself that helped him to come back to Apple and build this organization. Now that you mentioned Steve Jobs in this video, same thing with Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, people think that he's smiley, laughy, but he gets angry, right? Sometimes he gets like, if something goes wrong, he gets really mad, right? So, but at the same time, he has a commitment to his customers, and then in his evolution, he figured out how to grow that. And now you're like, I'm talking only about billionaires, regular people in business. Sometimes they go through their challenges because they don't know they don't know that they have this challenge. And once you start looking into yourself, and then start appreciating you for who you are, with flaws, whatever flaws you have, whatever limitations you have, whatever imperfection you have, and start appreciating you, that's going to help you scale your business. And I think most people don't recognize that is a really important, powerful thing that's going to help you grow your business much faster than almost anything else that you would do in your business.
Yeah. And one way, just a strategy to use, actually, one way to shift your love of self, your belief in yourself, is to every day track, have a celebration journal or a brag journal. That's what my coach said to me, where you actually record every day something you can celebrate about you, something you've done in your life, any time in your life where you felt good, where your energy was raised, where you were, perhaps it was something small, something big, but it's a celebration of you. Then there's the gratitude, and gratitude is when you actually look on the outside to see what you can appreciate. So celebrations from within, looking from within, gratitude on the outside. Tracking that can raise your belief in yourself.
Yeah, and look back. Beautiful comment. And look back at your life, like what happened in your past, and then when you look at like whatever you call as failures, if that's what you're focusing most of your time on, look for victories in your life. Like in the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, based on where you are, at what age you are right now, look back into your life. Instead of looking at failures in your life, see all the victories that you had in your life. And use that as a leverage point to help you grow to the next level. By the way, people, if you are like, there are so many people who are tuned in like so many different, like 8 different platforms. This video is going to 8 different platforms.
Wow.
And if you guys want to learn more about what we do, and then if you want to learn how to grow your business by being more productive, you could actually visit my website, our website, rublechandy.com, RubleChandy.com. and then get your productivity training for free. And then this is a training that I did. It's part of a $3,000 training that I did for people in different countries. And you could actually have that. This will give you so much clarity on how to appreciate yourself and scale your business to the next level at the same time. So the training is in English. And so I speak like 3 different languages, and I teach people nowadays in 3 different languages. So this training is in English, and this will help you gain so much clarity about who you are and then how you could be productive in your business. So that link it's rublechandy.com. And if you go to my page, immediately you will see how to get that free training so that you could grow your business to the next level. And if you're not part of the community, Business Accelerator Facebook community, we'll put the link below this video. Be part of this community. Have this conversation with people from 14 different countries so that you could grow your business to the next level as well. Teresa.
Wonderful. That's great. Well, this was a very enlightening conversation, and I want to thank you for this chat time with you again. Until our next time.
Absolutely, Teresa. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for all your comments, guys. And we appreciate you tuning in, each and every one of you tuning in from different parts of the world. We love you. Continue working on your business, your career, your life, but do it with a tint of appreciation for yourself. Because if nobody taught you how to appreciate yourself professionally, this is a time for you to become a professional appreciator instead of being a professional judge of you.
I like that, a professional appreciator. Good. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. That too. Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.